Hi, I'm Perry Atkinson, General Manager here at theDove. Hey, check out our other videos and check out our website at thedove.us. Well, I don't know of any of us that haven't been touched with the whole issue of cancer, whether with a friend or a relative. Our guest now is Rob Huthnance. He's author of a book entitled It's Not Chemo, It's Therapy. And from his family's struggle in fighting cancer comes a very interesting story. Rob, nice to have you with us on the phone today. Sorry for the short time, but I do want to get the essence of your book because your own story is pretty fascinating. Lead us through it.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you having me on this morning. A couple of years ago, my wife was diagnosed with ovarian cancer, and at that time I sent out an email to a couple hundred family and friends just alerting them of the situation. And a couple of weeks afterwards, after she had surgery and after the diagnosis was given to us, and the treatment schedule was put forward, and that she was going to have weekly chemotherapy treatments for the next several months, I committed to everyone in our circle of friends to send out an update every Friday as to what was going on. During that time, the updates went from a medical update into this is how we are seeing life. This is how the struggles that we were going through. These are the positives. These are the negatives. And through that time, my wife's attitude towards cancer and getting better was extremely positive, and that was really a reflection of what everyone in the community was doing for us. And so through these weekly emails, I shared our story and our view on life and how having a positive attitude can really make a difference in your treatment.
You know, so many of we have been touched by this, and we are experienced by it. What was it about those emails? I mean, how transparent were they, and how your wife gained that kind of strength and encouragement?
Well, the emails gained transparency as we moved along through her chemotherapy treatments, in that I became more comfortable in sharing our story. The community was extremely welcoming and frankly demanding of the emails and the updates, and people were sitting by their computers on Friday just waiting for the email to come out to see what in the world I was going to say this week. And through that, all of the encouragement that we received, I was encouraged to incorporate all these updates into a book. And in the book, I go through and really offer a lot more insight. It's extremely raw, but this is what was really happening to us. This is how our community was supporting us. These were the things we were focusing on, from having a good attitude to making sure that we were able to get through and have a positive outcome.
All right. Now, you say the title is not chemo, it's therapy. How much of this helping your wife's attitude was significant in her recovery?
It was very significant. You know, I mean, you're very scared, obviously, of what's in front of you. There's so many unknowns. And at a couple of weeks into it, we realized that, you know, chemotherapy is such a scary proposition. It sounds like poison. And we were able to really rally around the fact that it's not chemo. Let's go the other way with it. It's therapy. The whole reason that you're taking these drugs is to get better. It's not that the drugs are going to make you sick. It's that at the end, the drugs will actually make you better. And so being able to spin the word from chemo to therapy was a huge part in our overall outlook as she was facing her cancer treatments, and really was the foundation for us having a positive attitude and waking up each morning and saying, okay, today's going to be a good day, and let's take this on so that we'll have many more years of happiness to come.
Did you have to weed some out? Because so often when you start dealing with medical issues, the first thing people do is talk about their own, and therefore the person they're trying to encourage gets lost.
It happened quite often, frankly, and at first we were very discouraged because, you know, as soon as you're having a conversation with someone and it was, oh my gosh, well, you know, so and so had cancer, or my aunt had this exact disease, and she actually died a couple of years later, and you're just going, surely there has to be a better way of talking to people, and by the end, we really got to the point where we could laugh about it. But yes, those upfront stories were quite discouraging. Something that we had to get past and get through, and we were able to turn it into laughter.
So often people will say, "We're praying for you." How did that register?
It registered a lot, and frankly, we felt all the prayers from so many people that we came in contact, and the power of prayer was frankly very fascinating. In that there would be people in a social situation that we may not have met that would just come put their hands on her and say a quick prayer for her, and while that wasn't an everyday occurrence, it happened enough for us to really take notice on, and throughout this whole time, the power of prayer was just phenomenal. Not only for amongst our family, but throughout the entire community.
You're saying something else there, Rob, and that is the power of touch.
We certainly felt that a lot too. Yes, anytime someone put their hands, on Charlotte in prayer, or on any of us, whether it was just from a hug to physically praying with their hands on our shoulders, it really meant a lot, and it really promoted the connection between us. Now,
tell us your wife. She is now in remission?
She is now in remission and is doing quite well, thank you. She, in a month, will be 2 years removed from her final chemotherapy treatment, and is doing just fine, and is really enjoying life, being a mom of 3 young children.
Wow. So what do you want people to get from this, Rob? It's fascinating.
Quite frankly, we wrote the book so that in an effort to help others. We knew that if we could get through it, then everybody else out there can as well. And the book just really gives you several guidelines in a story fashion, so that it's not just a listed guideline, but through our story, people can see various ways to handle certain situations, an attitude to approach, and it also provides a whole litany of ideas for members of a community in which they can truly help that person in need. And it's a lot of things that we found very helpful, and if we found them helpful, we're certain that others out there will as well.
Well, thank you for sharing your experience. I've often said whatever God saves you from or brings you through, He turns you around, makes you a minister too, and obviously that's what you and your wife have done here. The book is entitled, It's Not Chemo, It's Therapy. And where can they get a copy of the book, Rob?
It's available on Amazon or through our website of itsnotchemo.com.
Itsnotchemo.com. Well, thanks, my friend. Thanks for sharing your story. And I think you let us all know that those emails that we all send to people who are dealing with something do count.
They certainly do, and they certainly went a long way for everyone in our community and my family as well.
All right. God bless you, my friend. Talk to you soon. Rob Huthnance with us. Again, the book is entitled, It's Not Chemo, It's Therapy. And I think what you might want to get from this book, and get a copy of it and read it, if you're ministering to someone who's dealing with cancer, these emails that he shares in there, I think will give you a good idea of maybe some right things to say and how to say them and how to express yourself. So you may want to get a copy of it. It's Not Chemo, It's Therapy. All right, we'll see you next time on Focus Today.